Okay, so we're done with chapter 6 of the Mattis book. Is that how you say his name, Eric Mattis? And I asked GPT to whip up a project that's going to drive everything home. Chapter 6 was on dictionaries. So this is what he gave us. So let's grab all this real quick here. All right. So client lead tracker. You're starting a small automation agency. You need a simple Python program to organize potential clients you might contact later. Standard. Each client has basic info, business type, pain points, services they might need, and contact status. The goal is build a program that stores several client leads and prints a clean report showing who they are, what problems they have, etc. Constraints. Only use concept through chapter 6 of Python crash course. So we can use all of these, right? Don't get into functions yet and all of that. We don't forget about user input, no file imports like importing CSV, stuff like that. We can do that later. Just data written directly in the program. So just like a static, cute little program. Required data. At least 5 client leads. Each lead should have business name, contact person, business type, current status, list of pain points, list of possible automation services, and basic contact details. Success criteria, basically this is everything we need to do, right? So basically print out a bunch of reports, some bonus stuff here. Yeah, we're gonna have nested stuff, cool. So for now, let's whip up the data, which I've actually already done here, but just in the interest of getting more practice, I'm gonna scrap this and I'm just gonna redo it, because why not, bro? Yeah, I know, I need to get VS Code instead of messing around with this. Yes, I know. Actually, let me use, let's use this one. Okay. So let's refer to this. So each lead should include business name, contact person, etc. All right. So we have a dictionary called lead. Each key is a client. For example, client 1. Then there's going to be some stuff here. Client 2, stuff here, etc. So let's get rid of client 2 for now and just figure out how this is going to work. So we need a business name. So the business name is going to be a string, right? And then we're going to have a business type. So let's say business type. Wait, what am I talking about? No. Okay. This is a dictionary. Each key is a client. The client has different properties that themselves have corresponding value. For example, business name has a value. Business type has a value. Current status, there's something there, information there. So the key, each key in this dictionary called leads itself is a dictionary. So this is our format. Now, we can start filling in our information. So we're going to need the business name, right? This key is going to hold a string. Then we're going to have the business type. It's also going to hold a string. Then we're going to have current status. I guess this is like contacted or not contacted yet, something like that, right? So we got the current status, also a string. Then we got a list of pain points. So we're going to say pain points. The exercise itself tells you it's a list, right? So here we have a list of pain. List of possible automation services. So possible services that we can offer them. Also a list. And finally, we got basic contact details, which, would that be a list? Yeah. Let's assume contact details is like city, Albuquerque, neighborhood, not neighborhood, or like city, Albuquerque, industry, home services. So that implies what? That implies that we have another dictionary in here. Okay, did I miss anything though? It said contact person, business name, business type, forgot the contact person. So we got contact person, and that's going to be a string, right? And I think we got everything. But I also want to rearrange this so that so that it makes a little bit so that it makes a little more sense. So let me actually okay. So let's rearrange this. Sorry, it's distracting me, bro. I'm gonna put this guy over here. Right. It would make more sense just the order that we have these in, right? So we have the business name, and then afterward, we would want like the business type, right? After that, contact person makes sense, and then of course after that, contact details makes sense. You get that. Let's go. Contact details, right? Then we have, the pain points coming before the potential services that we might offer them, right? And finally, we have the current status. Okay. So just for the record, if I print leads now, we get our thingy, back. Our thing back. We get back the thing about the thing. Okay. So this is the info that we're going to be that we're going to be working with. Okay. Okay then. Now let's go back to the project. So success criteria. Well, we want 5 client leads, right? All right. I'm not going to sit here being creative trying to make stuff up. Now that I have this, I'm going to have GPT generate the okay. Generate the 5 leads with placeholder values. Notice that the contact details it included platform. That's where we got their information from. This one we got from Instagram. Let's just copy this real quick. So we're going to get rid of all this. Okay. So I hope all of that is still clearly visible there. Give me a second. I'm constantly tinkering with stuff, right? I'm a tinkerer. Tinker with this, tinker with that. All right. So we got client one. It's a dental clinic. We got platforms numbers. We got pain points, manual appointment reminders, missed follow-ups, slow patient intake process. Services, we can give them appointment reminder automation, patient intake form automation. Sounds good. Not contacted. What's this? Iron Peak Fitness. We got a gym. Of course, in real life, if you were doing automation, ideally you would be focusing on a specific industry, but right, because the better you understand the gym's problems or the dentist's problems, the better position you are to offer them solutions. So we got manual lead tracking, low trial class conversion, right? People sign up and they're like, yeah, I'll come in for a free class, and then you never hear from them again. Slow response to new inquiries. We could give them lead capture automation, follow-up message automation. Cool. This is tutoring. Student scheduling confusion, manual parent updates. That's a pain. Scattered payment tracking. Ugh. So scheduling automation, parent update automation. Parents are busy, man. It's like, oh yeah, sure, great. So glad I found you. Yeah, I'm going to sign up Tommy here to come in, brush up for his, AP Calc, and then like the parent forgets to even like send the kid on Friday 5 p.m. after school because they're busy as hell, right? And balancing enough stuff. So Parent update automation would definitely be helpful for the tutoring service. The clients or the parents would update it in this case. What else we got? Greenleaf landscaping, Google Maps. Yeah, that's cool. Missed seasonal follow-ups. It's a big waste of money there. We could give them quote request automation. Definitely saves them time. All right. I mean, I know these things are not important. They're placeholders, right? But Urban Bean Coffee Shop. It's a coffee shop. Manual catering requests. No customer loyalty follow-up. Hey, coffee's coffee, right? Who cares where you get it from? Hard to track event orders. Customer loyalty automation. Not sure what that would involve. Maybe you give them some kind of incentive, like if you buy, 9 coffees from us, you get a 10th one free or something like that. If you remember a long time ago when like coffee shops would give you a card, or I think businesses in general, but I think it was specifically coffee shops. They give you like a little card, and it had circles, and you would circle one each time that you bought something. You would like give it to them, and they would like stamp it or something like that. And then eventually, once you filled in a certain number of circles, you get either a free drink or like a significant discount or something like that. All right. So yeah. So that's everything. If I print this now, we're going to get all of this stuff over here. All right. So here's client 1. This is just messed up. All right. And if I wanted to see clearly each client, or in this case, each key in the leads dictionary, I could say, we'd say for lead in leads, right? Now, if I print lead, now we're going to see, if I print lead, we're going to see not client 1, we're going to see this here, the value of client 1. So run it. Oh, my bad, bro. For lead in leads. Oh, okay. My bad. So lead is the actual key, right? We could also do print these keys. Is that what it is? Right. So we get the keys, and yeah, and otherwise we can do what was it, values, right? So now we get the values. What else can we do? Hold on. Tinkering. That's what I wanted, bruh. That's what I wanted. There we go. And of course, if we do, does this return anything? Yeah, okay. So now we get the items, but this is more like for lead and leads, print. So again, if I print lead, we're going to get client 1, client 2. That's the key. If we want the value, which is these dictionaries corresponding to each key, we're going to have to say it's lead. That's crazy. All right, cool. We've got it. Okay, and then we could have lead, details in lead, right? And then we could print the lead and then print the details, and then we would get Too many values to unpack or lead. Why is this not working? All right, why is this telling us too many values to unpack? Oh, because items. Gives you each key value pair. Yeah, so now we're going to get client 1 and the details, client 2 and the details. Okay, we're proving we can access like the most basic level of data here, right? So next up, required data. Now, your program should print a readable report for each lead. You should also print a separate summary. So let's separate summary showing these by status, and it should print all unique business types. So let's get rid of this. So basically we got 1, 2, 3. Leave this stuff for later. So readable report for each lead. ChatGPT says readable report, right? Let me get this out of the way. And that's fine and all, and I understand that, you know, we got to have like independent thinking to some point. But when it says readable report, like, do we just go down the list of all the information? Does it want a certain kind of, does it expect a certain kind of formatting or something? So if I look here, you know, like, what do you mean, bro? I mean, output that a human could scan and understand. Sure. Yeah, we know what the raw data looks like. Readable report will be more like blah, blah, blah. So the goal is, okay. All right, let me get this out. So readable report, and then a separate summary, grouping them by status. Yeah, okay. So using, I'm gonna put it here, by readable report is like the client, you know, it's like you got a little title there, type, contact person, and the status. So let me ask you now, this example it gave me, does it include all 3 of these? No, that's just part 1. Then a status summary. Then a unique business types. All right. So readable report, I think this is easy enough. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way. So first off, yeah, so we're gonna do it like this, all right? Client, Bright Smile Dental. We're going to get type, contact person status, and then we got contact details. We got the hyphen here, creating an unordered list, right? So like 1986 ASCII power, baby. We don't need no word formatting. Text runs the world, right? I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so obviously we're going to be looping. Gotta loop this, right? So for lead, and then I'm going to have details in leads. Let me just go here so we can put a couple spaces so we can see. Leads, items, right? Now, I think I'm going to create variables for each. Do I have to create variables for each of these though? No. So for example, client. Let's just use the last one so I'm not like scrolling all the way up there. So client, business name, Urban Outfitters, right? It's going to be looking like this, right? Bright Smile Dental, and then the type. So these are separately basically separate print statements. Basically, right? Got to tinker with the AC. Which fields are plain strings? Yeah, okay. So if we are going for this, right? First line, client, Bright Smile Dental. So we're going to print, we're going to do a string literal client. And then we're going to access the client name, which is the business name, right? Now, actually, I'll show you in a second. For myself in a second. So we got for client we got details, right? And from the details we want the business name. So let's print this real quick. Yeah, there we go. And then we're just gonna every other line is going to be another printed line. So type dental clinic. So what I'm going to do, type contact person status. So type that's business type. Contact person. And the status. So client right side, blah blah. I'm gonna put a escape character here so we got it. So client writes my dental type is dental clinic, contact person, blah blah blah. Yeah. For type, let's do title case. Let's do the same for current status. Yeah, this is gonna blow. And then we got contact details. So client. So we have this part, and now we're going to add the contact details. I want to get this space over here, so I'm just going to do a print line body. All right. So then we got print, and what do we want? What's my thing? Here. Contact details. Print, email, phone, city, platform. So email, phone, city, platform, these come from here, from this key, which is holding another dictionary. So details is this. I want contact details. So if I do, right, so if we do details, and then here I do contact details, what do we expect to see? I expect to see this dictionary, I hope. Yep, there it is. All right, so now we want to individually print the stuff from contact details. Now, we could sit here and individually do that, right? But let's not. Is there a faster way to do this? Like by looping through the can we say like it's gonna work. Oh. Dict object has no attribute value. Did you make values? Like items. Right. So there you go. That works fine. So what do we want? What's the format? contact, right? Email, blah, phone, blah, city, blah, 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 blah. City, blah, phone, blah. Since the keys already match exactly what we want, so we're just going to print the keys, right? So we're going to say print string literal, and we're going to do key. So just for the record, we got the key, right? Great. And then the actual value. And let's not forget to add our hyphen here, or the dash. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, because I also want to separate each client, right? So I'm just going to do another print thing, just like that. It does not look nice at all, though. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I think that didn't. Maybe all the thing did it. There we go. All right, so we got that. What's next? Then we got pain points. Now, the pain points is a list. Okay, so we got print pain points. And how are we going to access this pain points? So we're going to do key. Understand what the hell we're grabbing. It's so counterintuitive in the beginning, right? But once you get it, it just becomes like second nature, yeah? So leads is a dictionary. Each dictionary has a key. Some keys have values that are themselves dictionaries, and others are lists. In this particular case, right, if I do for something in leads, and I use items, right? Items returns a key value pair. So X is the key and Y is the value, which means that X will be, for example, client 5, and the value will be whatever comes after. Like this is the key, and this is the value. No, sorry, my bad. Oh, damn, bro. So leads is a variable that holds a dictionary, right? Here's like, for example, so leads holds a dictionary, and here is the entire dictionary, is this whole thing. And this here is something that the dictionary holds. Now, this thing itself is a dictionary, right? So this dictionary has a key and a value, a key and a value, a key and a value, right? So like, if I want to get the pain points, right? And the pain points are in a list, right? So if I said, for example, like here, if I said, let's do this again, print X, right? I'm getting like, client one, it's a key, blah, blah, blah. So in this case, let's say it's like client five, right? And then I want the pain points from client five. So if I do X, then we do pain points, we expect to see a list. All right. Client one, right? So client five, and then in here, client five, right? String indices must be integers, right? Because pain points is a list, right? X is the lead key. We know that. Client one, etc. Right? We got that. So X is a string, right? If X is a string, then we can't use the pain points as an index into another string. Okay, sure, okay. So we are already inside this loop, like lead details in this. So for the current client, the points are already inside details here. So if I do details, yeah, okay, these are the details. So we are already inside a loop, right? So again, yeah, if I do details, right, then I'm going to get this. Now, if I want the pain points, I would say pain points, and I get that actual list, right? And now I want to print them out. I want to print out the actual pain points, right? So if I say for pain in this thing, right? Print pain. All right, there we go. So put this here and extra. Why go extra? Pain points, right? And let's do title. Let's do title, please. So why not? All right. And finally, possible services. Okay, so then we're gonna say possible services, right? So the services is here, that is another list. So my, right, for service in details, because details is already like all of this stuff. So for service in details, let's print details. What was it? Yeah, okay, just services. Yeah. Uh, service in details. So for the dental place, we would expect to see appointment reminder, automation, patient intake form. But why is this incremental? Let's print it first. Oh, we don't need the details at all. We need the actual, just the service. Well, not quite though, right? So let's look at the paint, right? Paint was already. So for the paint in details, paint points, right? For the service in details, services. I'll be looking at this one day and screaming at myself like, dude, what's wrong with you? It's so simple. All right, and yeah, let's give it a title, please. All right, so the first part is done. All right, the program should print a readable report for each lead. Great. That's just dandy. It's freaking dandy. It should also print a separate summary showing all leads by status. Okay. I'm going to ask GPT what the output should be for the second part, not obviously the answer, just the status. So how can we group business names under their current status? Okay, so part two then, we want a status summary. So how would we do that? So when we read one lead, right, what two pieces of it do we need to build a status summary? We need the name of the lead and the status. And let's say that it looks like this. Okay, group by status. Blah, blah. Okay, great. What I'm going to do here real quick. Okay, so we're just going to have like a general lead report. Right, so here we have lead report. There's 5 of them. And then over here, we have the lead status. Now this doesn't look great because this thing is already here. I'm going to worry about that later, okay? Now, how can we group business names under their current status? Like if our end goal is this, right? Not contacted. So I would look at, let's grab the first business. Okay, so we'll look at the first business, right? And I would say, what's their status here, right? This not contacted would become this here, like the title of that section, the heading of that section. And then I'm looping through all of the leads that match this, particular status. That means I need another dictionary where each key is the status. And then each key's value is a list holding the clients. Does that mean I got to make some kind of like if loop? There's some kind of if loop here, right? If for each lead, I got to get its status and I got to get its business name. So for I'm going to have a status summary. I gotta gonna need an empty one, right? And for lead, again, lead details in leads, and don't forget items. If we're gonna get the status, going to be this, right? Details current status. Business name, which will be details business name. And then if the status is not in the status summary, then at the status summary, we're going to append the status. Right? No. If the status is in the status summary, we're going to so this line here means if this status is already one of the keys in the status summary dictionary, then at first we have status summary is empty, right? So the first lead has status not contacted, right? The dental place. So we're going to check if not contacted is in the status summary, but this thing is empty. So since the status summary is empty, this is false, right? All right. Let's look at what GPT is telling us here. Let's talk about one lead, Bright Smile Dental. So the status is not contacted, right? We want to build a status summary where inside it has a key, not contacted, and then the key's value is a list where we add the name of that business. So status summary is a dictionary where the key is a status and the value is a list of businesses. We know, okay, I got that. Now, if status and status summary means, does this dictionary, status summary, already have a key called not contacted? So in the beginning, of course, it's empty, and it doesn't, right? So we need to create that key. So we're going to say status summary, right? Not contacted, Um, right. We're adding things to a dictionary. How do you add things to a dictionary? You take the value, right, which is the status. Let's print this real quick. Back to basics real quick, right? So leads items, this returns a key value pair, right? So for example, the first one is client one, and then all of this. So lead is client blah, 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 blah. And then details is this entire thing. Which is a dictionary. Okay. Now, status is going to be details, current status. Details again means this. So current status will give us not contacted. Easy. Business name is going to be details, business name, which details is all of this. Business name will give us this. Okay? Easy. If we just print status, right? Here it is. Cool. Now, got an empty dictionary called status summary, right? So, if status is in status summary, then what I want to do is I want to take that status summary, right, which is going to have a key called status. And I'm going to assign it the value of the business, which is already there. I'm not sure why I'm getting indentation error here. Oh. Three spaces instead of four. All right. Anyway, this still didn't work because I'm recreating the dictionary every iteration. So first lead is empty dictionary created, second lead is previous dictionary discovered. So what we want is if status is in the status summary, then we're going to take the status summary status, which is a list, and we're going to append the business name. All right. Well, we haven't printed it, so okay. And if that's false, that's false. So status summary. Does the key contacted already exist in the status summary? For example, the first one, right? If it does not, no, say it doesn't. So then the status summary, which is contacted, it's just going to be the business name. Well, okay, we're not printing anything again, so not again. Okay. Python comes back to status summary and throws away everything we just built, so okay. Okay, so logically, that makes business name a list. It's a list inside a list. So actually, it needs status details. So for status, append business name. So if status, oh, okay. So let's get out of the loop. All right, so there it is. And then we can print, what was the format? Okay. So now I have this and it's holding this stuff, right? So now we're going to say for status, business, status summary, and remember again to do items, right? Now each status is the key over there on the right, right? And business is a list, right? And yeah. We're going to print the status. And then we want to print everything in that list. So let's put that in there. So now I can say business and businesses and then print business, but we wanted let's just format it. Title right here. So now there's a lead status report. It's definitely going to need to be revisited like a million times. All right, and the last part is it should print all unique business types represented in your tracker. It should print all unique automation services mentioned across every lead. Now, I'm not sure even what this means. So you want to do what? Okay, so all right, I think this last part is really easy. Okay, so we have business types, right? It should print all unique business types. It just wants the business type, like once each, right? So the business types is, up here, right? Dental clinic, etc., etc. So so the set, right? A set is the thing that it's kind of like a list, but it doesn't allow for duplicates, and also doesn't go in order. It might seem like it does. So I'm going to say business types. I'm going to create an empty set. Then we're going to leap. We're going to leap through the leads. We're going to loop through the leads. Add each business type. So for lead, and then we got the details as usual in leads, items, right? I'm taking the business types here that I made, the empty one, right? For the set, you do add, not append, add, and then I'm adding the business type, which is details, business type. And then I can print business types, which is here. Right, now let's make it actually, look decent. So business type, business types, which is now that set, right? Print, we have the business type. So, okay, and the last part is the Okay, just the services. So it's going to be the same exact thing. Let's see. Yeah, there's a space here. And then I'm going to say automation services. Yeah. Okay. And for automation services, again, we're going to create a set. Why are we making a set? Because we don't want to, if we offer the same service to more than one lead, we don't want to list the service twice, right? A set will only, is not going to duplicate stuff the way that a list would. So that's why we are creating a set, right? And then again, for lead, details of leads, items, right? We're going to take the automation service, add it to the list, so that'll be details. What was it called? Services. And then we're going to print it. For automation service and automation service says, right? Print. We have here our automation service title case. Yeah. You are expecting, right? What's that? And here we have automation service. Wait. Oh, just see what the problem is. I'm not seeing it right now. I'm trying to add a list into a set. I need to loop through the list. I thought I was looping through the list, bro. Automation services, right? That's a set. So for lead details, so for business type, what was a single string. Services is a list. So we need to loop through that, right? So for service, and how do we access that list? Like this, right? For service, in detail services, bro. Then we're going to do automation services, add the service. And I think, yeah, there we go. So we have the full thing that GPT gave us. Has a bonus challenge: add a nested dictionary for contact details, such as email, phone, city, and platform, and then print those details cleanly inside each client report. I say what? Add a nested dictionary for contact details, such as, so you have each key is a contact, and then the value, no, so each key is itself a dictionary, and then it holds email, phone, city, platform, and then print those details cleanly inside each client report. But aren't those already here? Like, aren't these already included? Oh, we already have the nested dictionary, yeah. Okay, ChatGPT kind of going around in circles there. But okay, so that's it, and that's done. This is really easy stuff. It's just the kind of thing that at first it's just easy to get jumbled up. It's just the human mind not having been sharpened enough. It's not that you're even doing anything difficult, right? It's just like, I have leads, and that's a dictionary, and there's a dictionary inside a dictionary. Oh yeah, pretty simple. And then you're like, well, how do I access the value of this, that, and the other? And that's when you start getting lost, because you're assigning, a shortcut to each thing, such as these, right? Lead details. And wait, what was lead? What was details? Your mind starts focusing on the words themselves, forgets what the label stands for, and then it starts mixing stuff up and getting lost in the weeds, when in reality, if you step back and take a broad overview, it's all a very simple thing. Anyway, this is nothing that practice and repetition doesn't solve. Just drilling and stuff. So yeah, it was a really good exercise. ChatGPT definitely kicked my ass on this one, but yeah, this was awesome. And I think I'm gonna, at some point, I'm gonna sit here and kind of redo it, not to spin my wheels and redo the same exercises over and over, but just for the practice, but with a reasonable amount of time. It's kind of like when you're studying, when you're practicing guitar, right? You don't want to sit there and study soloing for your whole 2-hour practice session. You also don't want to be sitting there doing a sweeping for 2 hours. You need you need to have a schedule for when you're going to do what. So yeah, I'm just kind of stating the obvious, more for myself than anything. Anyway, all right, that was good for now. I'm going to stop it for now, and I'll see you all next time GPT decides to kick my ass. After this, we're moving on to chapter 7 of Python Crash Course.